This should take around about 30 minutes, and I want to go, if there's no specific questions, we'll basically go through, the basics: how to make a good recording, how to take screenshots, how to create GIFs, why should you use one over the other. We have a tool that can do a lot of different kinds of captures, so sometimes it's not clear, and we want to really make it super clear for you, so you know exactly what to do. I'm joined here with Sandra. She did the webinar last week, and we're gonna basically rotate every webinar, and change the webinar depending on the questions that you may have. All right, we'll just wait one more minute. Maybe Sandra, in the meantime, what's your favorite feature of Zight? Trick question.
Oh gosh, yeah, trick question. Gosh, I think like recording videos is probably my favorite. I love that I can just go in and, try and speak to what I'm trying to tell somebody. And I use the editing feature quite a bit too to like crop out all those annoying windows and things like that. But yeah, I guess if I had to pick one, I would say video recording is my favorite feature, and AI, of course. I know Finn's going to get to that in a minute, or during the webinar, so I won't spoil what that all entails.
Yeah, I think maybe we can get started. So Zight 101, again, tips and tricks. I think along the way, I love learning from how people use it. Basically, part of my role is talking to our users, and often I ask them exactly, to teach me how they use the product, and a lot of times they use it in different ways. So I want to show you basically what they said and how useful it was for them, and really focus on like actionable things, not just pitching or promoting the product. You may have the product already and you just want to know how to use it. So let's get to it. So as I mentioned, three main areas: screen recording, screenshots, and GIFs. Those are the three main features of Zight. So some people may have a lot of different tools for screen recording, another tool for screenshots, and for GIF, they may try to convert it. So one thing that we try to do at Zight is make an all-in-one tool, so you can have everything in the same app. So we're adding a bunch of features on top of it, like editing, letting you edit screenshots, letting you edit screen recordings. And we started over the end of last year, adding Zight AI to automate a lot of it. So think of it as a great workflow tool. It's always on your laptop. It's ready to use whenever you need to communicate something. And the way people use this often is straight up, instead of writing 5 different paragraphs and 10 pages, just recording a 1-minute walkthrough goes a long way in giving your point across. Same for the screenshots. Sometimes screenshots, I would say our users use screenshots more often and more frequently than videos, but they use videos when they really want clarity. So screenshots are great for like step-by-step instructions, and screen recording are great to walk through them and add like context. So hi, Laura, checking in from sunny Florida. New organization uses Zight, so here to learn what all the buzz is about. Awesome. Yeah, so this is something that a lot of teams use. Basically, a lot of times when you share, you need to share it with someone. We have customers that share screenshots or videos to external people, like for example, support. If you work in support, this is a good tool to like share step-by-step instructions. If you're someone in sales, it's good to give like a pitch video, like send a 1-minute video to a customer and explain your own product. So this is pretty useful. And GIF is sometimes used whenever you need to explain something to someone, but don't want to record a video with voiceover. You just want to show like a little interactions. So for example, designers use this quite a lot just to show how something works. Or again, support folks use it quite a bit as well. So if ever you want to tell me also your what department you work in, I can also tailor a bit the webinar so we focus on your use cases. So I'll go through the demo really quick, but this is available for Mac, Windows, Chrome. The Mac and Windows apps are most used apps because they're always there, always ready to be used. Chrome is great as well, but basically most of the features and the power of Zight is on Mac and Windows. Chrome has slightly less features, so happy to dive into that if you're interested. But basically, we're everywhere and we're wherever you work to let you create content and capture it and share it really quickly. So let me go through one of the main use case of Zight is creating a screen recording. So if you, like me, you work on Slack, you send a lot of emails, you work with different customers, it's great to record a 1-minute video, which I do quite a ton. So I'm leading product teams. So that means I speak with the engineering team quite a lot. And a lot of times, no one will read, super long documentation. So what I do, let's say I'm gonna open Zight.com. And let's say I wanna give some feedback about that page or like a walkthrough of all the changes that may need to be done on that page. What I can do is open Zight. So here I'm gonna showcase the Mac app. However, on Windows, it's really similar. So on Windows, it's on the bottom right. On Mac, it's on the top right. And you see at the top the few different features that we offer. So recording, capturing, creating a GIF, annotating. As I mentioned before, they have slightly different use case. The main two are really recording a video or capturing a quick screenshot. So let's go through the video. And again, if I'm going too fast, if you have questions, feel free to just drop them in the comment and I can go back to what we discussed before and maybe explain it differently. But this at the top is the main interface of Zight. So you see when I'm hovering over the different options, you also see here at the top record screen, as well as some shortcuts or hotkeys. If you get more into the power user territory and you do a ton of recordings, this is super useful because you can just do Command-Shift-6 and go straight up to a recording. So I have a customer, for example, he's a CEO, he works with his team and he often just shares 1-minute video walkthrough. He doesn't want to type through Slack, he doesn't want to read through and try to make sense of all the Slack threads or Teams thread that are going on. He just does his hotkey, records a 1-minute video, and then explains to his team exactly what he wants. So there is less room for misinterpretation. So it's all about being more clear, adding clarity to what you're saying. So here, I'm gonna press on record. And one of the power of Zight is that it's simple. It's a simple screen recording tool that is always available to you. So you can see at the top, I can record my full screen, a part of my screen, so we call it select region, or just my webcam. There are different use cases. So I would say full screen and your webcam is the most common scenario I see across our customers. Basically, you want to show your screen, show yourself, and talk about a problem. Select region is useful if you really want to showcase a specific bug or a specific area of your screen. And cam only is a third feature for video that is really useful for video messages. So as I mentioned, that CEO that I work with quite often, basically, sometimes you don't need to show your screen. You just want to send a video note saying, hey, by the way, last time you talked to me about a problem. It's much more personal. You just see the person and you see their expression, which you don't always see when someone writes you a big email. It opens a lot of room for misinterpretation. So let's go through the main use case, which is full screen recording. So fairly simple. You have a camera. You can change your camera. You can change your microphone if you have multiple devices. But most times we'll just take the default device that you have. And as you can see, there's just one big pink start recording button. When you press it, you get a countdown for 3 seconds. And so then you can get started with your presentation. You have nothing else to do. You can just open the website, walk through all the different things that need to be changed. So with Sandra, we use this quite a lot whenever we think that there's content that need to be edited or like buttons that need to be moved. We test on different sizes and we want to make sure that we show exactly, for example, here, the button is misaligned. when it's on a small size, you can see clearly how I managed to show you the issue. So whenever you send that video to your development team, it's going to be super clear. They just have to replay the video. I do that often. I just replay the video over and over again to try to understand how they got to that point. So once you're done, you can keep just talking, and I think it's really natural. Once you get the hang of it, you can keep talking. You have a few options at the top here. So on Windows, it's going to be on the bottom again, but on Mac, you see here, I have a timer. You have an option to actually annotate your screen. This is really cool if you want to highlight parts of your screen. So if I want to talk about this section here, as I'm talking, you can just start and highlight different parts of your screen. So if I want to say, let's change this whole section, then you can see how it's super clear what to change, where to change it, and how to get to it. You have a bunch of different options about the kind of annotation you want to do, how long you want to stay on the screen. But to keep things simple, honestly, most of the times I just use the default arrows and just point to where I want the change to be. So we're all about adding clarity, and I think this is a really powerful tool. Next, you have a pause button. So here I can pause the recording, and let's say I'm hearing like the doorbell or noise, I can just pause the recording, move away, and then whenever I'm ready to resume, click on resume. If sometimes English is not my first language, I think it's the case for a lot of people working remote these days, and it's something that sometimes you have to say the same sentence differently, or you didn't think you were clear and you want to just start over. So we made it pretty easy to just click on restart. So you click on restart, it starts the countdown again, and then you can just get started again with your 1-minute video. A lot of the times it can be 1 minute, it can be 10 minutes. We have some customers that do record like 1 hour long calls, for example, where they are just going through a specific campaign or a specific problem with their company. And this is really useful because it keeps a history for you later on to refer to. So let's say I'm really happy with my recording. I want to send it to Sandra, who is in this call. So I'm going to click on stop right here. A web page open, and my recording is instantly available. So you can see my webcam on the bottom left. The recording is already playable. I could drop it in. Actually, let's drop it in the chat so you can all see it and experience it. But you all have access to the link. You just have to click on it, and everybody will just see this screen, which shows the video. They can post a comment, they can react to it. I use this quite a bit. Just whenever, for example, a developer sends me a demo or a prospect, sometimes they just like thumbs up. It's amazing because I know that they reacted to it, they saw it. A lot of times you make videos and, with other tools, you may not get the feedback, but with Zight, basically we make sure that you get some kind of feedback. So you know that it got viewed. Something that I particularly loved with Zight, and that you can all use, by the way, whether you work in support, sales, engineering, it's the same solution, which is awesome. So let's say here, I open the link in another tab. As you can see, you always have the viewer front and center. Our AI feature right now just added a title and a description. So without doing anything, just by recording this 1-minute video, we actually add title and a description context to your video. So you don't have to type what this video is about. You can just send it over. The person will be able to open it and see like, feedback about the website. And there you go. Nothing else to do. They can just watch the video. Whenever they watch it, they can even choose the speed of playback. So they can decide to make it go faster or slower. And what's amazing with videos is that they can just go back to places where maybe they did not understand you well. So it's all about adding clarity. And we add the title and the description. These features are for now just a beta, but they're free to access if you request access to us. So I can show you how to get to that in a minute. But basically, right now, I sent to someone else a video. And as the person that created the video, something that is really helpful is that you will get notified whenever someone watches that video. So I don't know if you can see it here. Yes. So you will get notified whenever someone watches your video the first time, the fifth time, and this is useful because let's say you are someone from sales, you add the video URL to an email, you will actually know when they click to view the video. So it's great just to see a bit the engagement. When you click on the link, you will see the views, and I can actually see, that someone viewed the video 2 minutes ago and only viewed 24% of it. So we have a lot of feedback that we give you about the content you create, all of it from a 30-second video. So let me know if you have questions about video specifically. I will move on, but this works on Windows, this works on Chrome, this works on Mac. It's mostly all working the same way. So here I'm opening Chrome, for example, and you can see the same button, record, and the same options. So it's really easy to use Zight from anywhere. And I've been using it personally. Even in my previous job, I was working with a large team with 20 different developers, and I kept sending quick videos, and that's how I started loving the workflow.
Ben, I'm going to pop a quick question onto the screen regarding protecting content and security, and we might be ahead of the game on this one, but if you want to answer it now or wait until you go into the next section.
Yeah, what are my options for protecting my content before I send it? Great question. So let's go back to the video. Maybe while recording this video, I recorded, sensitive data, and the Zight links by default are public. So sometimes you just want communication to be internal, and you want to only make sure that the developers don't share that video, or your prospect, maybe you don't want them to share the video as well. So in the app and on the website, you have a lot of different sharing options. So you see on the right here, anyone with the link can view. That is the default settings. On any paid account, you can actually change that. So if you're someone that thinks that you will only use Zight for internal communication, not external communications, you can actually make all links private. So only people in your team account with a Zight account will be able to view the content. So let's try them. So if I click on edit here, you can see that it's like Google Docs. Think of it like a Google Docs. For example, this presentation, you have a lot of different options with Google. This is exactly the same thing. By default, it's public. You can change it to private. And you have some options here, like anyone with a link and a passcode can view. So you can set up, Crowdcast password. So only people that know the password and write Crowdcast can actually access it. Only people in your organization can view, so they need a Zight account. But if you want to keep things really private within the company, then I would encourage the rest of your team or your company to get a Zight account. There's multiple tiers. So if you're on our enterprise account, for example, you can set some users as just view only. And those users, you can add as many as you want. And the only thing they can do is view your content. But at least it's always a private link. You can also say, give me your email, and you'll be able to view the content. We have a lot of salespeople that actually do that. We do it for a board meeting, for example. We want our board members to enter their email before they can actually view the content. So that is really useful. You can also set expirations. So let's say you want to share that sensitive content, but you want to make sure that it doesn't stay forever online. You can actually say, please expire it after someone viewed it, or please expire it in a month from now. So I went a bit deeper, but what's great is that once you use it once or twice, you'll see how quick it is to change it. And whether you share a video, a screenshot, a GIF, it's the same page, it's the same settings. So let's go to my account, for example, and I will open a screenshot that I took. And you can see it's the same layout, and I can just click on edit and make my content more secure. If you want to change it and make it so it's always private, you can go on your account settings, and I think there's an option called files. So this is the web, this is the settings, and you can basically change these options, but for every single new item created. We also added an option to automatically delete content. So if you like creating content, if you work with a team, and if you don't want that content to stay forever on the internet, you can make it so we automatically delete that content after a day, a week, a month. So hope that it helped answer the questions. Yeah, feel free to ask me for clarifications. Happy to get more specific on the topic. So once you know how to do that, you know how to do a screen recording. Creating a screenshot or creating a GIF follows the same flow. So you always go on Zight, and you can use capture to capture a screenshot. You can use GIF to record a small video. So let's do a screenshot. You get presented with these options. And again, we have a lot of different options and ways to capture, but most times you just want to click on capture, select a part of your screen, and you're done. You have nothing else to do. So when you do a screenshot, we let you directly drag and drop it. So let's say, let me show you an actual world example. So let's write an email. So right now I want to write an email to Sandra, and I want to give her a screenshot about this slide that she made, and maybe give some feedback. I can just click on capture, select the part here of the screenshot. We always copy a link. So the only thing I have to do is go on my email and paste the link. And the screenshot is already there immediately. Nothing else to do. I can just write something like, let's review this in our next call. It's a really good tool that is always available for you, and you can quickly share screenshots. And this is what also separates Zight from the competition, because it's easy to use, and you can do, yes, videos, but you can also do screenshots super easily and GIFs super easily. So let's look at these options for a second. So you can see, click once for full screen, click and drag to select an area. So similar to video, you can decide to share your full screen or just a part of your screen. And at the bottom, you have more like pro, this is more of a pro tip and like advanced users, but you can select a specific window, or you can click enter to redo the same capture you just did. So the one thing that I think most of our users use, whether you're in support, sales, usually it's part of a screen, you select it, and it's ready to share. So a lot of our users do 10, 20 captures a day and sends it to a team. Especially if you work in engineering, in product, you have a lot of feedback that you have to give through. And let's say I am a product manager, I deal with engineering teams quite a bit, and product teams and design teams. And a lot of times I will just take a quick screenshot. So I will do capture, I will select part of the screen, and that link here, I can copy the link again, or I can just drag and drop it. I attach it to my tickets. So in Asana, in Jira, in Notion, whatever tool you use, you can always usually add a link. So this is really, really useful. Here I'm adding it to Gmail. I also added a link earlier to Crowdcast. That's the power of the links. You can paste them anywhere. And let's do a quick demo of the GIF. So GIF, as you can see, it's the same kind of options. So you click on GIF, and you can either record your full screen or a region. And the only difference is that you don't have audio. And GIF, also, one thing to note that a lot of people don't know is that it's amazing in emails, because if you send a video, people will need to click the link. But if you want to send an email and you add a GIF in there, it will not need users won't need to click on the video and watch the video. It autoplays in emails. So that's a little detail that I think that's why a lot of our users sometimes use one versus the other. So I'm looking at a question in the chat. Hi, Tatiana. In Prague, I love Prague. I went there 5 years ago, I think. Is it possible to change the aspect ratio or video quality? I remember I had some issues when sharing on Slack. Yes, so if you go on the preferences, so the preferences are usually under the three lines here, preferences. You have a lot of options. This could be a whole webinar, and I've used all of these options in different scenarios, but by default, it's great. You don't need to play with all of this unless you need to. But we do have different recording quality and GIF quality. You're right that if, for example, a GIF is really big, Slack doesn't show the preview. So a lot of times what I would recommend is a video, in that case, can be great. When you share a video, and I don't think I have Slack, or I actually have Slack, but let me share an example. Let's go with Sandra, or maybe, okay, I'll send it to myself. So let's record a GIF, select a region. So here I'm gonna record part of my screen. I'm gonna start scrolling. And as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna click finish. So you can see right now it's taking a second, but the link is already ready to add on Slack. I can paste the link, and you can see here that it's under 1 megabyte, and it actually does autoplay. So people do not have to click play. If I were to share a video, so let's share our videos from earlier. What's good is that it actually, here there's not a lot of movement, but it actually does show you a GIF of what's behind the video, and you can click play within Slack. So this was a customer call. He was explaining to me, how he was using Zight, and I can just go through the video. So you can see, as you can see, Tatiana, I hope that helped answer the question, but by default, now we did a good job at making sure the videos are not massive and can be used anywhere, pasted anywhere. If it doesn't, then sometimes it's because you might select like your full screen GIF, which are super heavy, and usually playing with the settings help most of our customers there.
And I've got one more question I'm going to pop on the screen here.
Awesome.
This one's regarding shortcuts. I think it's a really good question. You can just speak to our customization options, especially for people who move really quickly. Don't want to have to deal with a lot of clicking. Okay, perfect. Awesome. I think we're in the Q&A section anyway. The only thing I haven't showed was the Zight AI, which you can ask for free. Ask it for free for now. At some point, it's going to be a paid add-on, but if you make videos, we automatically add a title, add a description, add a transcription. And what's amazing with that is that you can then search your videos. So if you were on a customer call and you were talking about a specific topic, you can now search that video because we added a title, we added a description. So that's the only thing I haven't mentioned yet. So to answer the question, do I have the option to customize my shortcuts on the desktop app? You do, and I will show you how. So by default, on Mac and on Windows, as I mentioned, if you hover over the main actions, we show you the hotkeys, so the shortcuts. Command-Shift-5 and Command-Shift-6 are like the main ones to take a screenshot and a video. However, if you go under Preferences and Shortcuts, you can see all the different shortcuts that we offer. And this works the same way on Windows. I don't know if you're on Mac or Windows, but you can easily just delete the shortcut and assign something new. So let's delete shortcut and let's do something like Command-Shift-W. So now whenever I go do Command-Shift-W, it's going to trigger screenshots. Little pro tip while you're here, something that only a few people, people that were in this call would know.
if you have a mouse that is like a smart mouse with different keys, I've seen a user in support that assigns specific buttons to these actions. So shortcuts are great on your keyboard, but they can also be used on your mouse and basically just trigger a recording or a video. So yeah, I hope that answered the question. But shortcuts are amazing. If you use the buttons, it's fine. It does what it's supposed to do. But if you are someone you plan on doing a lot of screenshot, or you get the hang of Zight, I do videos super quick. Just here, I'm ready to go. I did Command-Shift-6, select my region, and I just have to click start. And now I'm ready to do a quick demo or a quick presentation. So I think Sandra, you can confirm, but we use a lot of videos internally, just making sure we always have some history, or like if I want to explain a bug or if I want to pitch a customer, sometimes you're going to write to me on feedback@zight.com, and I'm going to just send you a video with the answer. So I think it's really, really useful for different purposes. So let me know maybe in the questions if you use it for sales or support, and you had any like burning questions as to how to make the most out of your license. All right. Questions were cleared. Awesome. I will finish with one thing that I just realized I did not talk about. If you record a video or make a screenshot, you can edit. This is a really big part of Zight that maybe we can go on a specific webinar about it. But let's say you are recording a video. You can go back to your videos in your account. So let's find any video, like the video we recorded at the beginning of this call. You have an edit button here that lets you trim parts of a video. So that's the favorite feature that Sandra was talking about. You can like remove parts of the video that maybe a pop-up showed up on your screen with like a notification you don't want people to see and get distracted on. So you can remove that. You can crop your video. So let's say in the end, I didn't want people to see the bar at the bottom, and I didn't want to see the status bar at the top. I just want people to focus on my face and the screen. You will be able to remove that, and you have a bunch of filters. So for videos, you can do a lot of basic editing really fast. And for screenshots, one of the features that people like the most, so let's go back to actually Zight.ai. Let's say I want to give some feedback on the page. I will click on Zight and annotate. I will select the part that I want to capture. And this automatically opens an annotation window. A lot of our customers stay with us and love Zight for this feature, because now you can add a few annotations on the screenshot. You can say, let's add more text here. Whoops. So you can basically give your feedback or explain a change really clearly. When you're done, you click share, and I can go back on Slack and I can share it immediately. There is close to no delay. I just did my annotation, pasted it in Slack. Same with an email. You can just paste the link and people can see. They can open the image and right away see what you were talking about. Awesome. So thank you, Sandra. She put more info on the video editing. But yeah, we have a lot of, it's really a small tool that is always available to you, and that actually has a ton of different features just to help you communicate better. So I think if there is no other question, I think we can end here. If ever you feel like you need a refresher course or you have other questions that come up, feel free to email us at feedback@zight.com, or come to the next webinar. We'll be there every week and ready to answer your questions. All right.